takeaway message here?
I'm
Some
going to go a
more
bit
final
more
words.
internal. Never expect anybody to respect you if you don't respect yourself. So if you yourself are not okay with who you are as a person, don't expect anybody else to be okay with it. And Sarah spoke very much on that of like, I'm unapologetically who I am. Passing is a thing that you should do if you want to do it for you. When people start hormones, I ask them a question that I ask almost every single patient. And I said, if the world ended and there was a virus that wiped out 99.999% of humanity and you survived, you probably will never see another human for the rest of your life. So far, the survivors are like, just a couple hundred of them over the whole planet. You're like one of the last people alive. Would you still take your hormones? And that really tells you flat out whether or not someone's trans or not. Because if someone still would want to take their hormones, knowing full well that society doesn't exist, like no one's ever going to look at them and care whether or not they pass. Passing has now been removed from the equation. It's about how they feel inside their own head. So does the estrogen work as an antidepressant for you? Or does testosterone? Do you feel better as a human being on these things? Do you want your body to look like this for you? Not for your family, not for friends, not for anybody else. The answer to that is yes, and those are good candidates for treatment. If the answer to that is I don't know, it's generally you should go to therapy and figure that out. And that's not to say that someone couldn't use estrogen who didn't feel that way, because I do. I rub estrogen on my face twice a week because it makes me look younger. And that's the reason. I don't have to have some like crazy jet. I literally like to look younger. I'm going to be 40 here in a couple of years and I look like this. So like, it's a pretty cool trick. But that being said, for somebody who's literally struggling with their family accepting them or friends accepting them or whatever, if you haven't accepted yourself, what do you expect them to do? So if you have not yet come to peace with who you are, I strongly advise you seek out therapy to do that. Because if you're not comfortable with who you are as you are in your current state, let me tell you, you're not going to be comfortable with who you are 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road. Because I'm still not fully comfortable with who I am. I wish I was as buff as I was when I rode for Pitt's crew team. I wish I was better looking. I wish my hair was as blonde as I was when I was younger. I wish I didn't have this divot on the side of my head where my hair looks like it's starting to finally retract as I get older. But like, I wish a lot of things, but there's nothing I can do about it, right? So I have to come to peace with who I am and be okay with this guy. Because if I go out in public and I'm thinking the entire time I'm out there, oh, I have a bad breakout right now, my acne's coming back, my hair's retracted, and I don't look very good, and this and that. And that's what's going through my head as I walk up to someone and I'm like, respect me. It's conveyed to them like in a subtle, like nonverbal way. I don't respect myself. I don't value myself. And so it's subconsciously conveyed to them that like you're not of value because you don't show that you value yourself. And this is why a lot, and it sounds bad, but a lot of trans people end up in bad situations and bad relationships because they don't value themselves. And so they have someone that pays them positive attention. And as a result, they are not getting a whole lot of that. They will then tolerate all kinds of bullshit that they're put through by that same person in exchange for that positive affection and attention. Because they don't value themselves enough to be like, no, that's not okay for you to treat me that way. And I see that happen way too much. So with families, it's the same thing. If you don't value yourself enough to stand up to your family and be like, no, if you don't want to, if I can't come to blankety blank's wedding as myself, then I will not come. And they're like, well, fine, don't come then. And be like, okay. And then you have to be at peace with that. And if you're not at peace with your own transition then. And so that means you need to work on yourself before you get back there. That's my advice.
Thank you, Dr.